Hello, Gemini. How are you doing? I'm here with your weekly messages. I'm just getting shuffled here a little bit. I've just had two cards pop out, the moon with the three of rods. So let me just go ahead and shuffle a little more before I continue. Wanted to thank you guys for all of your awesome comments on last week's messages, including the extended, which I released as a birthday gift to you guys on YouTube. So I really appreciate that. Let's see what wants to come out for this week. If you do resonate with my messages and want to set up a private session with me, you can do that on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. You can also reach me through that website as well if you have questions or want to talk about anything at all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get some cards for you. So the first two that popped out are the moon with the three of rods. And what I'm immediately feeling with this energy right now is that you might not yet be able to see the outcome of something that you have been working on putting together, making happen, maybe a project you've been working on, something you've been actively trying to manifest, a relationship you've been working on. The outcome still feels a little bit shrouded. You're not sure. There are other options, but there are other what am I trying to say? Factors that affect the outcome. But you are very clear on what you want to happen in this situation, okay? The other person, other people, whatever the situation is, their intent is not fully visible at this time, okay? It might add a bit of an aspect of fear or just anxiety to the situation because you don't know how it's going to end up. But I want to say that the next two cards that popped out were the Devil with the Eight of Swords. And so that makes me feel like this fear that you have of not being able to actually see the outcome, to control the outcome, that's part of your job to let go of right now. That's part of what you're learning through this process, that, you know, you need to trust the universe to provide you with what it is that you need at every given moment. And I know that's rich for me to say because I don't know what situation you're going through right now. It could be something that's really, really massive in your life. And it's hard to hear, trust the universe, right? We always want to be, you know, as individuals, we want to be in control of things, of the universe, of what is coming to us. And the truth is, as I was telling somebody else last night, the only thing we're truly in control of is ourselves and the way that we react to things, okay? Everything else is really a crapshoot. We have to trust that the divine chaos is always going to fall exactly where it needs to, which is to say, in your highest and best good. So when we get involved and we try to manifest a specific outcome, okay, let's say a specific relationship, a specific job, a specific career, then there are times when, because we think we know better, we are actually blocking our progress or our highest and best good, our best possible outcome. Because what we don't know, because it's hidden, right? What we don't know is that there's actually something better out there for us, right? And that's something that I have so potently learned in the last few years, is that you really have to continue to give it up to the universe and allow this creator, source, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, if you want to use the word God, however you feel about it, to allow the picture they're showing me is like pouring, like just allowing the chips fall where they may, I guess, but they all fall in the right spaces because it's almost like a Tetris game, a divine game of Tetris or something where everything comes down and just falls perfectly into place, and we never could have, with our manipulating of the little Tetris pieces, we would have it all jammed up all over the fucking place, right? So only the universe or the divine or source or whatever is going to see the whole picture in such a way as to perfectly put it into place, okay? I don't mean to say that our actions don't matter. They do. I don't mean to say that we can't change our lives. We can, but just that it all comes about in the perfect way. So we think we're controlling things sometimes, but it's really just the universe, one thing after another, bringing our attention to this project, this issue, this person, and then we work our own personal magic in that situation. But we need to be open to allow the universe to work. We need to release ourselves from this need to control and the absolute fear of not being in control, because that's going to block you in every single way. Fear blocks everything, and the need to control blocks a lot of things, okay? With the devil coming up here, this may be one of those lessons that you came into this life to learn, to release control on a person or your situation or whatever, okay? Particularly if you're attempting to control an individual, another person, with fear, by making them think that they are stuck, or you may be being controlled by another person with fear by feeling that you're stuck with them, that you have no other options, or that you can't survive without them because there's some kind of codependent behavior going on there. So if you are working through codependency, that's sort of a kind of addiction that needs to be released in order to move forward. It's another way that you're so focused on one person or situation that you cannot see the forest for the trees. You don't see the other things that could be offered to you because you're so detrimentally focused on something. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out for you, Gemini. For Gemini, please. Okay. A little more information here. More information, please, for Gemini. Okay. A lot of similar cards, or some similar cards, are coming out as we had in the weekly overall energies, okay? So I guess that makes sense, right? Because this is for basically the same amount of time. You have the Sun with the Ten of Swords, and the Sun to me is sort of like the master timekeeper, the master of cycles, right? Because we count our day by the 24 hours that it takes for the Earth to go around the Sun. We count a year by the amount of time it takes the Earth to revolve around one time. The year is the amount of time it takes the Earth to go around the sun. So this to me feels like the end of a cycle. Something is changing for you, and I'm hearing that it has to do with the way that you think about things, okay, or the grip that your mental processes have on you, and that is a very positive ending. You know, you also think of the Sun as happiness. That provides a sense of joy, because when you are so gripped with your thoughts, you're imprisoned in your own mind. And because our mind is so agile, that does amazing things in some situations, but when it's gripped in fear, which it looks like there is some fear going on between the Moon, the Devil, and the Eight of Swords, then it becomes a cycle of pain. And I do feel that with the Ten of Swords, that you may come to a point where you have to say enough is enough, that you are not going to suffer with this pain anymore. And you make that choice to change the way that you're doing things. what you have here is the Ace of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups, okay? And this to me feels like a compassionate, making a compassionate change in your life, but a change in the sense that you know that you have work to do with yourself, that you need to give attention to some cycle, some process, some pattern that you're in. And yet you're thinking of it because you know at this point with this Queen of Cups coming up here that you have suffered enough and you really want to take control of that pain. And you do, and you have that capability. You have the Magician with the wheel coming up here, which tells me that it's you and your own capabilities, you and what you're able to manifest in your own life, which creates the change that you need. It's not anyone, just as I said in the general read, it's not up to anyone outside you. It's about the way that you take the only thing that you can control, and that is the way that you react to your situation. You can choose to make it a shit show, or you can choose to make the best of it, right? And when you start choosing to make the best of it, you begin to carry that higher vibration into the next scenario, and the next scenario, and the next scenario. And before you know it, you're no longer being offered lemons, you're being offered the lemonade, okay? If that makes sense. Not to use a total cliche, but it seemed to work there. So let me get you a few oracle cards and see what other advice wants to come out for you this week. And then there will be an extended read where I will look into relationships specifically, and there will be an energy healing. Okay. Oracle cards, please, to close up Gemini's reading. Oracle cards for Gemini, please, for this week. Oracle cards for Gemini this week, please. Okay, the first one that popped out here is moon cycles. Makes total sense. I mean, the first card that you got was the moon. This says, Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. So you may be feeling different ebbs and flows in regard to moon cycles. If you are female, you might find that this is talking about your menstrual cycle and that you need to be aware of how your energy is impacted by your hormones. This can also be talking about, because we were talking about the moon as being the things that we do not see. And so how is fear and uncertainty affecting your the way that you are interacting with life, your cycles? How is it affecting your energy? How is it affecting your hormones? Are you full of cortisol because of the stress? And all of those things you personally are able to take control of. I mean, you know, you may have a medical disorder that I don't know about, and so it's more complicated than just, you know, mentally taking control of. But by and large, these are things that you can take control of to change the way that you're viewing your life. But it's important to also be gentle with yourself in the process of that and not judge yourself and say, pull it together. You know what I mean? It's more than that. You need to be gentle with yourself. You cannot beat yourself into loving yourself or beat yourself into joy. It seems obvious, but take it from me, it's not always. New partner. A chance meeting is no mistake. It is divinely orchestrated as a catalyst to set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. Pay careful attention to new people we send into your life. You will recognize them by your sense of familiarity, comfort, and safety. New partner. Could be a romantic partner, somebody else coming into your life. Could be a business partner, a friend. Any person who is coming into your life to create, I just heard to create heaven on earth. So this absolutely could be a romantic partner who is perfectly matched to you, or could help you It could be a teacher who helps you to learn how to better be in command of your own energy. It could be someone who is able to open your eyes to the way that certain things in your life are not benefiting you anymore. So in either case, again, we're talking about allowing things to come into our life which help us, and not trying to hold desperately on to things which no longer serve us, okay? And this is definitely a blessing. It's a prayer answered, basically, whether you consciously made that prayer or not, okay? Let's see. Let's get one final to wrap it up. Life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus on serving a purpose, and then the purpose will serve you. Okay. So if this fear is all about life purpose and what you need to be doing with your life, just know that that too is flowing in with this Wheel of Fortune. When you're able to, and you are able to, with the Magician coming up, create the opportunities and create the environment in your life where you are open to and receiving these possibilities, okay? And allow it to unfold naturally is what I'm hearing. No more forcing of anything, okay? So thank you very much for being with me this week. If you would like to check in on relationships, then that will be in the extended reading on Vimeo. Follow the link in the info box below. If you don't, then, and this is where we part ways this week, then I look forward to seeing you again next week, okay? Thank you so much, Gemini. Please don't forget to like this video and comment and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye.